This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome. We hope you're having a wonderful windy Tuesday. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It is Tuesday, February 23rd.
Well, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were called out to a reported structure fire on Sutton Drive this afternoon. Fire Chief Scott Lewis says it appears embers from an overnight fire at the residence reignited.
We're dispatched to the area of 1700 blocks South Sutton for a possible structure fire. As crews arrived at the location, we found smoke showing from a previously burned building. Our investigation revealed a small rubbish fire within, easily contained. Crews are now mopping up, ensuring the overhaul is complete. There were no injuries. It's most likely resulting from a fire that occurred early yesterday morning. The winds have now kicked up out here, and we believe that probably some embers on the underside of the structure had reignited and lit a small rubbish fire within.
Chief Lewis says firefighters discovered a well-involved fire when they responded to the original call at the Sutton Drive address around 1:30 Tuesday morning. As crews arrived at the location, I found heavy fire showing from a detached storage unit that was located next to the primary dwelling. Crews investigated and found that it was an unoccupied structure that was filled with an overabundance of personal property. Crews commenced a defensive exterior attack, quickly controlled the fire. The fire occurred in a no hydrant area, so our water tenders brought additional water to the scene. We're looking at a probable accidental ignition source. The fire is under investigation by the Deputy State Fire Marshal's office.
President Joe Biden is announcing a new plan to help small businesses struggling to survive the coronavirus pandemic. Starting tomorrow and for the next 2 weeks, businesses with fewer than 20 employees can apply for the federal loans through the Paycheck Protection Program.
Since the beginning of this pandemic, 400,000 small businesses have closed, 400,000, and millions more are hanging by a thread. These small businesses, not the ones with 500 employees, but these small businesses, they're with a handful of folks, they are 90% of the businesses in America. But when the Paycheck Protection Program was passed, a lot of these mom and pop businesses got muscled out of the way by bigger companies who jumped in front of the line. And I want to be clear, the Paycheck Protection Program is a bipartisan effort. Democrats and Republicans helped pass it. But Democrats and Republicans have also voiced concerns about improving it. With their input, that's what we're doing in our administration, improving it. On Wednesday, the Small Business Administration is going to establish a 14-day exclusive PPP loan application period for businesses and nonprofits with fewer than 20 employees. People can go out and find how to get a hold of these loans. People can find out more at the SBA.gov. Small Business Administration will also remove barriers that have stopped many businesses from being able to apply for these loans. These changes will bring much needed, long overdue help to small businesses who really need help staying open, maintaining jobs, and making ends meet. And this is a starting point, not the ending point. Getting our economy back means bringing our small businesses back. And that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm doing today. We're going to focus. The program ends at the end of March, but for the next 2 weeks, the only folks who can apply for that PPP money are businesses with fewer than 20 employees. Thank you very much.
President Biden is also pushing Congress to pass the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. The president proposed the $1.9 trillion stimulus package to address the economic and health effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing recession. The plan also includes $1,400 direct payments to most Americans.
Well, curious odors, leaky septic pipes, 11 people living in a shed on a property, and an auto repair business in a residential neighborhood. These are just a few of the things that neighbors have complained about to the Office of Code and Compliance. Some of these problems get resolved, and some are brought to the Board of County Commissioners.
Director of Planning for Nye County, Brett Wagner, briefed the commissioners at the February 17th meeting. He presented the commissioners with a list of properties that have code compliance complaints against them, along with the progress that has been made of bringing properties back to code. Complaints range from properties being used for things they are not zoned for, complaints of spills, old automobiles, and trash. There are also complaints regarding various animals and questionable care. Wagner stated that after an initial investigation, some cases will make it to the BOCC for them to make the decision on labeling the property a nuisance or dismissing the complaint. He said that approximately 80 cases have gone through the investigation and notification process with no response and have now been sent to the district attorney's office. Admitting that the DA's office has bigger fish to fry, cases have become backlogged. Commissioner Blundo suggested that if the DA's office needs additional resources to prosecute the compliance cases, he would support making that happen. District Attorney Chris Arabia immediately said that they need those additional resources. Commissioner Strickland would like to see the compliance office with more power to clear these cases without them going to court. There was discussion regarding the rights of the property owner and weighing those rights against their neighbor's property rights. Commissioner Cox said that she is always willing to work for the rights of the property owner, but also feels that residents around the offender should not suffer a property value decrease due to their neighbors. Several specific properties were discussed, as well as the process for correcting problems. All agreed this is a challenge. Wagner said that they are operating within the guidelines that were set for the office in 2001. For a complete list of properties under investigation by code compliance, visit nyecounty.net. Look for the February 17th meeting agenda, and the report is found under agenda item number 41.
All right, we've got some financial news for you and some not so great news on the music horizon. We'll tell you about all that and more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, rising crude oil prices are pushing up gas prices at the pump. We've got all that and more financial news for you right now.
Topping our news, prices at the pump have been jumping for 7 weeks in a row, according to Gas Buddy. The national average is $2.63 per gallon. Crude oil prices traded above $60 per barrel after refiners were shut down by frigid temps. Gas Buddy predicts the rise in gas prices should start to slow later this week. Texas officials are asking residents to please report price gouging for water, food, and electricity. Violators will face a $250,000 fine. The number to call is 1-800-621-0508. One example of gouging, packs of water selling for $30. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is out with a warning about Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency has been trading above $52,000. Yellen calls Bitcoin dangerous for investors and an extremely inefficient way to conduct money transactions.
Thanks, Angela. Well, as attorneys for the defense and the state prepare for a trial, local man Nicholas Von Aust appears in court.
Von Aust appeared via television from the Tonopah jail for calendar call prior to his March 9th trial start. Von Aust is facing charges of felony murder for his role in a robbery gone bad. Von Aust was arrested for an incident on June 24, 2020, in which he and Kyle Bickerstaff were allegedly going to buy a gun from a juvenile. A fight occurred in which resulted in gunfire that killed Bickerstaff. A murder during the commission of a crime allows for the co-conspirator to be charged with felony murder. While in this case it was the juvenile that fired the gun that killed Bickerstaff, it was determined that he acted in self-defense. Von Aust's attorney Jason Ernst recently argued a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. Ernst stated that the rule should not apply to Von Aust because he was not the shooter but the accomplice. The state argued that the gun battle that began during the confrontation was a proactive act that began with Bickerstaff and Von Aust, further stating that Von Aust planned the robbery that started the battle that resulted in the death of Bickerstaff. Judge Lane has yet to render his decision on the writ. As preparations begin for trial, Ernest asked that the calendar call be continued on behalf of his client. He said that he had received an offer from the state on the case and had not yet had time to discuss it with Von Aust. He said that the matter may be resolved. Judge Lane continued the calendar call to March 8th, with a trial scheduled to begin on March 23rd if a resolution has not been met.
Thanks so much, Missy. In other local news, a Pahrump thrift store is on a mission. Lord's Treasures thrift store at Pahrump Valley United Methodist Church uses proceeds to help people in our community. Laurie Wilson says donations make it all possible.
We are here for several reasons. The things that are donated, we sell to support, the money goes to support our food pantry at the church, as well as a ministry or two in our church. But we also help with the Say No to Abuse by bringing clothes, curtains, linens, cookware, anything that they really need. We brought tons of books this last week. We also support the high school. It's called the Trojan's Trunk, yes, and we try really hard to support them. We also support the Daughters of American Revolution by giving them really sturdy backpacks that come in, and they fill them with 20 pounds of food and bring them to the high school and the elementary school so the kids that aren't getting fed get to take food home for the weekend and not feel like they're different. Anyone that comes in that's homeless or in need, like they don't have clothes, they don't have socks, coats, etc., we help them. We also right now are donating every coat we get in to the food pantry. We give them blankets, sleeping bags, things of that nature that can get to hats and gloves go all to the food pantry. If people do have a fire or came from an area where they brought nothing, we get to help them set up whatever they need. If it's beds, if we have a bed, table, chairs, housewares. We have so many housewares, linens, blankets, things like that. We're always happy to do that.
And the thrift store is always happy to accept donations.
People can bring what we call clean and gently used donations on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 1. We can help them out, get them from their car into the building. We have donation receipts if they want a receipt for their donations.
Lord's Treasures thrift store is always in need of large furniture items, things that sell quickly.
Tables and chairs, recliners go very fast. Dressers, people need dressers. We don't get a lot of dressers in. Beds, we can't keep mattresses. We can't take mattresses, but we can take a bed.
In addition to general merchandise, the thrift store features a wide assortment of clothing, too.
Our clothing barn, we do a grocery bag for $3, and we let you kind of stuff it.
Everything you can shove in there.
Exactly. We're happy. We also have shoes, and we have a little boutique area that really nice clothes are $3. And so that's another big bonus.
They've got some great stuff there. As a shopaholic, I do not need to see that. Lord's Treasures thrift store is located at 1300 East Highway 372, right here in Pahrump, behind Pahrump Valley United Methodist Church. Donations are accepted Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m., and the store is open for shopping every Friday from 9 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. And if you have any questions, just give them a call at 775-764-9866.
Yeah, I didn't want to finish the interview. I just wanted to go shopping when I was there.
Right? Yes. All right, we'll be right back with much more here at News 25.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Well, the iconic and influential electronic music duo Daft Punk is splitting up. To mark the announcement, Madame Tussauds Las Vegas is powering down the pair, at least for now.
The Daft Punk figures were introduced at Madame Tussauds Las Vegas in 2019 as part of the 90s experience, which also features icons the Spice Girls, Britney Spears, and Bill Clinton playing the saxophone. But the duo, who's been making music for nearly 3 decades, is parting ways. The big announcement came via a video titled Epilogue, which ends with an explosion of one of the band members before the dates 1993 to 2021 appear, reflecting the start and finish of the French pair's musical career. Now, to mark the breakup, Madame Tussauds Las Vegas is pulling the plug and powering down the duo. But fans of Daft Punk shouldn't worry. The museum says the move is only temporary, assuring guests that Daft Punk's legacy will live on at the world's greatest wax museum.
All right, and some people have put off medical care due to fears of contracting COVID-19, understandably, but we can't let the pandemic stop us from making health a priority, especially when it comes to routine checkups and screenings.
If you postpone your routine screenings, it can lead to poorer health outcomes. We want to make sure that we prevent certain cancers and certain diseases. And in order to do so, we need our patients to come in and also to get their cancer screenings and their vaccines as well.
Dr. Naya Villas is a family medicine doctor with Cleveland Clinic. She says health and medical facilities are taking extra precautions to keep patients safe from COVID-19, so there's no need to fear a trip to the doctor or hospital. She notes the benefits of checkups and screenings often outweigh any potential risk of contracting coronavirus while receiving medical care. Routine exams help you spot and stay on top of chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and lung disease. Your doctor can also help you keep track of screenings like when a mammogram or colonoscopy is due. She says cancer screening tests are especially important to keep on your calendar as they give you the best chance to catch cancer early when it's most treatable. A visit with your doctor also provides an opportunity to ask about things that may be bothering you.
You need a trusted primary care provider to talk to them about your concerns, whether they are mental health needs or whether they're changes in your family history or anything that's come up as a result of this past year or two.
Dr. Villas says routine checkups are important for young adults too. Even though they may be generally healthy, it's good to establish a relationship with a physician so if something pops up, they know your health history.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
We've got our weather cam facing out there towards the back area.
Gorgeous, gorgeous shot of the sun, Le du Soleil. Well, we'll take a closer look at how hot it's going to get and how high that sun is getting in the sky as we approach spring. Your weather right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. How are you on this fine Tuesday? Are you having a taco, perhaps? It's Taco Tuesday at our house. Oh, yes, it is. Hey, let's check out the temperatures throughout the state. Coming up, northern part of the state, pretty much in lockstep, about 57 degrees is where your high mark is. All the way down from Fernley to Tonopah to Goldfield. And temperatures at night, well, you're going to drop down to the low 20s, maybe even just a shade lower than that. As we approach the southern part of the state, Beatty's looking fine at 69 degrees. Amargosa and Las Vegas, both at 75 degrees for highs. Lows tonight in the mid-30s for us down here in southern Nevada and in Death Valley. Titch warmer, 85 degrees, muy caliente. 51 for a low tonight. Here in the Paradise Pahrump, where the grass is green and the air is pure and all the women can do math in their heads. 70 degrees is our current temperature. 73 for a low tonight. Was our high temperature today. Saw a glorious sunrise at 6:20 a.m. and sun setting right now. Well, in just a little bit, 5:33 p.m. We'll approach temperatures of 40 degrees as we head towards morning, and the northeasterly winds to 9 miles per hour will make us appreciate what we've got today, because coming up tomorrow, oh, look at this, 21 mile per hour winds. It's going to get kind of scary, hairy, and northwesterly winds, west-northwest, continuing through the week. This weekend's going to be quite blowy, 17 mile per hour winds Saturday. Sunday continue with 14 mile per hour temperatures. Temperatures throughout the week are going to vary up and down about 10 degrees. We see a low mark on Sunday at 56 degrees. We see a high mark tomorrow at 70, so enjoy it while you can. And make plans to, blow around this weekend. That'll be all right. All right, let's head back to the desk. It's Unette and Deanna.
Thanks so much, John.
Thanks, John.
And we do have some things coming up. We want to talk a little bit about Nye Communities Coalition. They have a couple different classes. This one is for free youth mental health first aid course. If you want to find out more, of course, you can go to nycc.org. That's coming up Friday, March 26th. And the other one that they have is the Safe Talk training, and this is really important. This is how to talk to people who might be in a crisis situation. That one, Tuesday, March 16th. Of course, in the next coming days, we'll have more information. You can call Nye Communities Coalition at 727-9970, extension 204 for that. And the fish fry is coming up soon, and that's going to be so much fun.
Delicious.
On these Fridays, they're doing a drive-through there at the Our Lady of the Valley Roman Catholic Church there on Gamebird Road on Friday, February 26th, March 12th, and March 26th. That's from 4 to 6:30 p.m. And, of course, you can find out more on our local Pahrump Facebook page. The American Red Cross is asking for anybody who would like to donate blood to help out the people down there, of course, that are suffering through the winter storms. You can find out more information and how to do that by going to blood.org online for the American Red Cross. And we want to show this video that we
filmed today. You got some
today.
great footage.
Yeah,
meet.
It's super great.
Meet. Where is Wile E. Coyote?
I know. This is a Roadrunner, which I thought was so funny because it was running on the racetrack at Spring Mountain Motorsports today, and I just love that. And I was laughing so hard by myself filming this Roadrunner.
You got it. You got some good shots. Good.
I wonder what he thinks about the race cars there, and if he was trying to race.
I know. I think it was a challenge, and I'll accept that challenge too.
Yeah, I know about your driving.
Oh yes.
All right. So that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unat Gentry. And from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, let's try to catch up with that Roadrunner. And we'll see you next time.
Don't do it. Goodbye.
Good night.